hungry.
Yeah, man.
We are live as of right now. Ta-da!
So you like my outfit that Dana bought me? She made me open a Christmas gift. I said, I don't like opening things early. She goes, no, you got to open this one.
Well, especially because the bomb cyclone that's coming.
It's very warm in here, Trinity.
It's warm in my house.
No, I mean in here.
Oh, yeah.
It's inside Bucky.
Oh, my God. Anyways. All right, let me know when you're ready. And I will run the intro. We'll get it going. And for those of you who are listening, not watching, he's got I don't even know how to. Is that a onesie?
It is a onesie.
It's a onesie Christmas beaver thing.
It's Bucky, bro. You just not just any beaver.
Bucky? Why does that sound familiar?
Because like he owns gas stations.
Oh, I've never been in a Bucky's.
What? It's a Texas thing. Come on, bro. Or chipmunk, whatever he is. I don't even know what Bucky's is. Is Bucky's a chipmunk?
I've never even heard of Bucky's.
I don't know what he is. It's a onesie. It's a onesie, Marissa. All right, let's do it. Let's do the show. Come on.
All right.
Let's start.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, people? How you doing?
Boom.
Street certified dope doctor, a.k.a. Bucky today. Bucky, I don't know if he's a beaver or a chipmunk, to be honest with you, but he's from Texas like me, except now I live in Florida, and guess what? Bucky's is right up the road here in Florida now. So I'm street certified dope Dr. Louis Delgado here with you. That's the Dharma guy, Trinity Phillips. This is Dope and Dharma, and this is the middle edition of Dope and Dharma that we like to do on Fridays. What's up, brother? What's the matter?
I don't.
Man, you don't like my outfit?
I don't have words.
You don't like my costume?
You're taking this bomb cyclone a little too far, don't you think?
It's warm inside.
I've got my own warmth right here.
Well, I don't have that. So
you've got like a miniature one.
You want to see it? Look, it's a onesie. It's a onesie. Look,
it's even got a little belt thing on. I don't even. For those of you who are not watching,
it's a Santa Claus little Bucky.
Yeah, he got up with he's got like a Santa beaver chipmunk onesie thing on.
I don't know if I'm the only one that got this for Christmas because Dana did spend $350 at Bucky's that day.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I said.
At a gas station?
That's what I said.
Wow.
But I don't mind this purchase because I always wanted a onesie, Trinity. I always wanted a onesie.
Well, you did when you were a baby.
I don't know if I ever had one. Yeah. Wow. So I liked it. All right. Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you very much, Marissa. Sweet of you guys. So, Facebook Live people, if you want to join the conversation, we're going to be talking some political issues in We the Middle. And yes, I'm going to be wearing my Bucky's Santa outfit. I have no shame, Trinity. I have no problem with it.
Well, apparently Lisa knows what Bucky's is too. I've never heard of Bucky's before, so.
Lisa knows. Lisa understands.
You said we have one here in Florida now?
Yeah, we got two of them.
Oh, yeah. Is it like like a Wawa?
By the way, I discovered a new thing in where was I? Is it Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania. Sheets. Oh my God, the tacos at Sheets, bro, are freaking awesome. I want to
give you the sheets.
No, that's good. It was like their Wawa, but it's better than Wawa, bro. We need a Sheets down here too.
Okay.
So anyway, for all the people that have Sheets near them, God dang, I was wondering why people on the plane. I was like, man, I'm landing late. I'm hungry, and the guys were like, oh, you got to go to Sheets. It's a gas station. I'm like, I'm gonna go to a gas station. Are you crazy? Is there anybody that I can Uber Eats order food from or whatever? Everybody there, Sheets. It's like it doesn't matter. They were right. It's good food, bro. Next time I go to Pennsylvania, I'm coming back to you, Sheets. But down here, it's Bucky's right now.
Okay.
So let's talk about it. What do we? So this is where we talk about stuff. Like, look, we're neither left or right. We're neither Crips nor Bloods. Even though I'm wearing red today, don't get it twisted. I'm not on the Blood side and not on the Crip side. Trinity and I are politically in the middle. That's why we call this show We the Middle. Now, we don't mind you Crips and Bloods being on the show. We want you on the show. We feel that both of you had valid points, and both sides have a lot of valid points, actually. And sometimes, the left is right. Sometimes the right is right. But anyway, forget Pennsylvania. You need to get a gig in Long Island. I do need to get a gig in Long Island. I'm coming close again. I'm coming back to Jersey in January. So that's good.
Straight out of Compton, North Pole. That's awesome.
That's right. That's right. This is my gang gear. So anyway, let's talk about it. We got some political issues coming up. So and then we got Christmas coming. That's why I'm in my Christmas gear. This is a Christmas celebration coming up, right?
Yeah. Well, here's our first one. Let's talk about the weather.
Dude, bombs. What the hell is a bomb cyclone?
I've never heard of a bomb cyclone.
I thought we were suffering global warming. I thought, where's freaking global warming right now?
Yeah, I've heard of El Nino, but I've never heard of bomb cyclone.
Let me tell you something. As soon as they said a bomb cyclone is coming, and you're like, yeah, and then you look at the map,
it's all blue.
Dude, they're not just negative. They're like 20, 30 negative. It's like, what kind of negative numbers are some of these people dealing with right now?
Well, just a frame of reference. When I woke up this morning, so the place that I'm from in Montana, it's called Manhattan, Montana. Right now.
What is it?
Well, early this morning, it's gotten warmer, actually, so it must be moving through there, I guess. When I woke up, it was negative 16.
Woo.
Right now, it's negative 6. So it's getting hot there, guys.
Oh, my God.
That's where I'm from in Montana.
Negative 16?
Oh, my good gosh.
And it's going to go to negative 30 something, right?
The low today was negative 28.
Yeah, see, that's just
that's where I'm from. So you wonder why the cold doesn't bother me? That's where I'm from.
Where's Lisa living? Marissa's in New York, right? So we gotta get them on. I want to know where are you at, Lisa? You know, these people are on Facebook Live. I want to know where they're at. I want to talk to somebody in a colder climate. Let's get Marissa on. We know where Marissa is. Get her on, man. Send her a link. I want to see her. I want to talk about this bomb cyclone with Marissa.
Negative 28.
Like she's in a wheelchair, right? Like, does she have to lube it up special, or does it freeze?
I don't.
Marissa, does your chair freeze? Oh, Lisa's in Orlando, so Lisa's fine. Lisa laughing at everybody else like we are, going, "Ha! You enjoy your cold weather."
It's supposed to get really cold here tomorrow, or for common folks, I guess.
Yeah. She's wearing shorts. Exactly. Trinity's in a tank top in Orlando. Come on.
But I'm not a good barometer though, because I would be in a tank top regardless.
Yeah.
All right, Marissa, I'm sending you a
Marissa, come on. Hurry up.
A link in your messenger.
Yep. Come on, Marissa. Get on the show. I want to hear about New York.
Yeah, I flew into Jackson Hole and it was snowing and everything else, and I had sandals, cargos, and a tank top.
Yeah, you guys went in the jacuzzi
naked
in the snow. Naked in the snow.
Well, almost. Yeah, we went to the jacuzzi and made snow angels right afterwards.
Yeah. Can you show the picture that I posted while we're waiting for Marissa? Show the picture that I posted of you naked running the other day when you went up to Gatlinburg for the day.
Is that where you were at?
No, that's where my Zoe was up there.
Oh.
I was in Atlanta. There. That's get it closer. Get it closer. That's Trinity. That's Trinity up in Gatlinburg the other day, just enjoying himself like he normally does. He likes to run around naked in the snow.
I would do that. Why not? But yeah, we did
that. What do you mean? That's a picture of you. What do you mean you would do that?
We did snow angels in Jackson Hole. It was like snowing and whatnot, and we went to the jacuzzi. And I gotta be honest, that was really cold. To go straight from the jacuzzi and go lay down and do that was cold.
So what's going on with this bomb site? What is the deal? Like, what happened?
I don't have any clue, man. I don't know.
But you don't know how it occurred? Like, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, did a meteor hit that I don't know about? Like, what happened?
The high pressure.
Is this Russia or China? Is it Russia or China?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who did this?
I don't know what happened. I just know that it's cool. Oh, hey, here's Marissa.
Come on, somebody has to be responsible for this.
Sorry, I had to change.
Hey, what's up?
There you go. I like the shirt.
Now
how you doing, Marissa?
I like it.
So, what are you crazy asses doing today?
We're trying to keep warm. Well, I'm trying to keep warm. He doesn't care.
It
feels good to me.
I'm in New Smyrna Beach. I look. It gets below 72, and I'm in a jacket. You know what I mean? So 71 degrees, and old man is wearing a jacket. This dude, he's different.
No, I hate the cold outside, but it's really hot in my house right now.
Yeah. Well, it's warm in my Bucky's outfit.
Yeah.
I'm snug. This is like a snuggie, bro. I feel snuggled. I feel good in this thing. I'm gonna wear this like all week.
In a
gonna
few
wear it
days,
to
you're
its-
going to be back up. You're not going to need to wear it in a few days.
No, I'm looking at the weather now.
Really?
Tomorrow our high is
There you
47,
go. I'm wearing it all weekend.
and it won't get up into the 70s again until Thursday.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna drive in this to my parents' house in a few hours. I'm gonna drive to Tampa. So if you see me on the road coming through Orlando, there, Lisa, on I-4, don't judge, because
You got to do a TikTok if you do that.
I'm driving in this outfit. I am.
You got to do a TikTok.
I'm not taking it off. So anyway, so what's a bomb cyclone, Marissa? What's happening and what's happening in New York? How's the weather up there?
A bomb cyclone.
What is it?
I've heard of it. It's.
Well, the hell is
I
it?
think it's like a condensed thing of rain or like ice. I don't know. Like it's like
basically,
a like
you're being
almost like a surge of it.
You're a
You
field
don't know
reporter
either.
right now, and you don't know either.
Yeah, you don't know either.
All I know is
Nobody
we
knows
got-
what it is. It's just a horrible name.
Yeah.
What's the temp
it's
right there where you're at in New York? Outside
20s, I think.
20s.
Let me see.
Oh, so you're not negative numbers there yet?
No. No.
You gonna get to
Actually,
negative
right
numbers?
now it's 42, but it doesn't
that's
feel
not.
like it.
42's nothing.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't feel like it though.
That's
That's
Saturday
nothing.
morning.
Is it like a bunch of snow on
every
the ground? Is it like really
I'm
thick?
talking to Louie and Trinity. Bye.
day.
That was mom.
Ooh,
She's
you
like,
gonna get
Mom.
whooping?
Hey,
she
Mom.
goes, who are you talking to?
How are you?
Louie and Trinity.
How you doing?
Is there a bunch of snow on the ground there? Is it like 2, 3
Thank
feet?
God, no.
Oh.
No.
So there's
We
nothing.
hard-
It's all made up.
So you
No,
guys are,
but we
you guys
hardly
are
got
good.
any. No, because we
Why?
hardly got any rain today, but we had the same surge with Hurricane Sandy, so there's floods everywhere.
Oh wow.
What, do you live on the ground level or do you live like at upper level?
Was that a real question?
Well, you could have elevators.
Aren't they all
Yeah.
like disability accessible or whatever now?
Yeah, every building should have
That's
elevators.
that's a whole conversation.
Are
for
you saying
another
New
day.
York does not have your ability to live upstairs anywhere just because you're in a wheelchair?
If you want to live in a house, no.
Oh, you're in a house.
Oh,
I'm in a 2-family house. Yeah.
Oh, you're in a two-family. Two-family. Wow. I always
I don't
wondered
know what
that
that
when they
is.
say single-family home. What is a two-family home? What is that?
It's basically where you have one main door and then there's 2 other doors inside.
I
one
got
for
other- I
upstairs.
got other doors.
Oh, I've seen those. No, okay, that's what they. Because up in Providence, when I was up there,
What?
it was like that. It was like a massive building when you go in, and then it breaks off. It's like almost like a townhome.
So yeah, okay. So what we just build it a little bit different here because we don't need
Yeah.
that middle area.
Yeah.
Right. I got you.
Okay,
All right.
dude. I've never heard of that until it never connected until just now.
So basically, Marissa, you're like fine. You're not even suffering from this bomb cyclone.
Well, there's a lot of flooding. Can't go anywhere.
Yeah, but like, where are you gonna go, Marissa? Really? I mean, like, it's cold. It's Christmas. Like, where are you gonna go?
I'm probably not going to leave my house until I go to Arizona in March, and then not again until I come down there for the event.
There you go. There you go.
So-
So you're not
I
suffering
hibernate
at all.
until it's like the 60s.
Yeah. So you're not suffering at all. So to you, it's just like, what's everybody crying about?
I live every day of my life wondering that.
Oh boy.
There's Mom again. Hey, Mom.
Can you
I don't
wait a few
mind the
minutes?
cold.
Bye. Okay,
This is
goodbye.
awesome. I don't mind the cold, but I gotta be honest, man. Looking at where I was from in Montana to be
Yeah.
negative 28,
Yeah,
that might be a bit much.
that's a little
Maybe.
more. That's,
I wouldn't be outside in that. How about
See,
that?
as soon as your number starts with a negative, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like
no, as soon
Maynard,
as it starts with the 20s or
Yeah.
the teens, then it's.
See, that
well,
doesn't bother me.
that for sure. Well, Maynard's
doesn't
up there,
bother me.
like, but he's sick. Like, right? You said he's sick.
Yeah.
Where's Maynard? Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City,
somewhere
Kansas.
in Missouri. Yeah.
One of those. Kansas City. That's another city that doesn't make sense. One is Kansas City, Kansas. The other is Kansas City, Missouri. Like, they have identity crisis up there.
Yeah. Who knows?
You know. The
But
only
yeah,
thing that
I,
unites them is Mahomes.
The
Mahomes
negative
unites
28
them.
is a bit much.
Right. So I
Although
don't know.
where I'm from is the coldest recorded temperature, I believe, in the
I
U.S. Negative 72.
Well, it looks like what's happening. Let's do the reporting part, which we're not reporters. We're just commentators, right? We talk
Yes.
smack. So basically, it looks like a lot of you are suffering out there. It looks like some of you, I mean, you hear the real deal is don't go outside because
No.
they're saying in some of these areas, Trinity, that if you walk outside within 5 minutes of exposed skin, you can get frostbite.
Well, where I was from in Montana, they talked about going outside for too long and your lungs will freeze and you will die.
See, that's a little much.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's like hot.
I
Get some
almost
hot
want to
cocoa.
laugh, but I don't.
Well, because somebody's suffering. Here's my problem with it. My problem with it is not the humans necessarily, but there's some bastards out there that have like dogs. Because they put that stupid ass commercial on every holiday season, where like I have to change the channel because like my kids and my wife get all crazy. They go change the channel, change the channel. It's like a 2-minute long commercial about dogs freezing.
The
Right?
Sarah McLachlan commercial?
I've never. Is that her talking? I don't know who's talking.
No, with the Arms of the Angel song
I have no
with
idea.
the sad dogs and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that one. And they're just
Yeah.
dogs, and they're saying, "Please send money," because all these dogs look horrible. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is when it pisses me off because there's some people out there that have a dog and they have it outside on a chain, and they don't bring it in even in this weather. Like, where's that dog going to go right now?
Some
Under
people
the
should not
snow?
have dogs.
Hey,
They
some
shouldn't be
people live
allowed.
in igloos.
Igloos. What?
I'm just trying to give them an excuse.
But Trinity, seriously, there's people out there that are leaving their animals outside right now in those areas, in the Kansas City area, Montana area. Well, give me another state. All these states, all those middle states are like frozen right now, right? And they're getting colder this weekend, right?
Yes.
Like everybody wanted a snowy Christmas. They wanted a white Christmas. Here's your white Christmas.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, you got a white Christmas. Oh, the whole sky's white. The air's white. I mean, the pictures that we're seeing from Florida while we're sitting here in our flip flops with our feet up on the beach is like, wow, you guys are.
Yeah, I like
Fucking
that
random.
meme. My idea of a white Christmas and it's a white sandy beach. Yeah.
Well, in Miami, that just means they're doing cocaine at the same time.
Exactly.
On a white sandy beach.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening right now, and so I mean, we thought maybe you were colder, Marissa. You're not giving us anything about
It's-
cold. You're like warm. You're like warmer than us right now.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close. It's not too bad cold wise, but
Right.
it's raining right now and
Right.
the surge was just very unexpected.
Right. But you will
Nobody-
be below freezing.
Soon, yeah.
Yeah, this weekend, right? You're going to be below freezing. So what do they teach you like up there? Like what do you have to do differently than we have to do? Do you have to like turn your faucets on and leave it on so your pipes don't burst? Like does that happen up there?
Sometimes.
You hear about stuff like that, like pipes bursting. You hear all these little things that we get as Floridians we forget all about. Like, if you've been here long enough, you don't even remember that stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember any of it.
Oh, my dad still reminds me. He goes, "Look, you got to turn on the pipe." And I'm thinking, Dad, I haven't had to do that.
I shared a
Really?
really funny post just like not even an hour ago. It was two Floridians like that are unfamiliar with what you guys are getting right now. You guys get a kick out of it. It's really funny.
You're gonna make me go look at what it is instead of just telling me what it is.
It's long. You'll have to read it.
Oh, okay.
The most I see is people in my neighborhood will put like blankets on their flowers outside. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most I'll see
Yeah.
here.
Man,
And winter
well-
coats, I bet.
Oh, no! Here,
That's
if it gets below like 80, people have got like parkas and like fur and just like whoa.
Bucky's outfits, Bucky's onesies.
No, man, people take like they're in the middle of the Arctic or something. It's like 75.
Amen.
Oh my god.
I right now I got my puffy coat right there hanging over there to the right.
They all look at me like I'm crazy.
I was down there though in December of 2018. It was cold in the 50s.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
That
Come
look, that
on.
ocean air is cold.
It's the wet air, yeah.
Yeah, that ocean air when it comes. See, Trinity, you're inland, and you don't get.
He's also from Montana, so he doesn't.
Yeah. That I'm from the desert. That
No,
does
what?
that. I'm freeze. I'm from the desert. There's not supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be hot.
Yeah, doesn't the desert get cold at night?
Yeah, but that's when you're drunk or you're inside.
No, I
I
went to Vegas 2017.
I was just in Vegas. It was cold.
Freezing.
Yeah,
at night.
I was just in Vegas. It was freezing, bro.
Yeah.
Vegas and Utah was cold the last month.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
pretty cold there.
So anyway, so that's all you got to report on the bomb cyclone. We can go on the next subject. You have nothing to report on the bomb cyclone there, Marissa?
No news is good news right now. I guess it's raining, so you never know.
All right, so let's talk about the next subject. Let's what's the next subject then?
I don't remember the order you told me, so
Who cares?
we'll just put this one up.
Ah,
Oh, can I stay for
Ah,
this?
yeah, you can stay for this. So the reason we're going to talk about masked people is because they're back. And I was on a plane, and I wish more of you actually had them on, because all your asses were coughing. And the last time I came back from a trip, I missed Thanksgiving. I got sick, and I had to stay in for Thanksgiving because all y'all coughing asses on an airplane.
We lost power, so
Oh, you lost power, or he did?
no, we
I
did.
don't. I don't hear him. That's awesome. I don't know what just happened.
No, I don't
I hear
know.
you perfectly, but I don't hear him.
My lights and everything went off for a second, so
Oh, wow.
I had to turn my cellular data on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear him at all. I think what he was getting ready to talk about was that Louis, you might have to leave and come back because you just completely knocked out on us. What he was talking about was the masks. Um, I think that there's people making a push to bring them back. It
Here,
seems like
they're
everybody,
trying.
yeah, it seems like everybody's bumped their head and forgotten that they don't seem to really do anything. I guess I don't really know. Well, Louis back.
It was over for me during the winter of when this all first started, and somebody made a video of like go outside in the cold and blow out. If you could see smoke, it means it doesn't work. So I had my mom do it, and lo and behold, smoke all
Louis, are
over.
you back now? Oh yeah,
No,
your audio is like completely cut out on us. Oh boy. Oh boy, we're gonna have to hear about this. Let me turn your. Yeah, did something happen on your end, Louis? I don't know. I don't know what happened, but her and I are just fine. We can't hear you at all. Anyways, no. The thing that I don't understand. So, I'm not gonna say it's a bad idea to wear a mask. Like, if you want to wear one, go for it. Like, it is what it is. I just don't like this idea that they're putting out there that somehow mask is like a cure all for everything. Like, it's like this
or a
weird
guideline that you have to follow.
impenetrable force that just blocks everything permanently. No, like it's been proven that people can still get sick and still spread it and still get it. So I think at best it makes people feel better, like they're doing something, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't. And the idea about the mask as well is when it started out, it was like, you don't need them, then you need them, then you don't need them. We should all wear them. We shouldn't wear them. Our governor decided a while back, we're not going to make them mandated, and we did what I would consider to be relatively well throughout the pandemic. Um, so I like them as more of a recommendation as opposed to a mandate. Like
Yeah.
you start telling people they have to wear them, and you don't really have any good justifications for it or no sound data to back it up. I think that's when you start to lose myself and many other people. So it's kind of where I'm at
Yeah,
on the mask.
there's too much emotion attached to all of it. Like that they scared you of what could happen. It's like if all of the side effects on the commercials.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the side effects of the jab, and I don't want to hear all of the symptoms of the coronavirus on a commercial because it's never ending. It's like they're pulling symptoms out of their ass. It's all different, and it's anything will scare you. It's like, oh, it's not a simple runny nose anymore. I have to go wear a mask, or I have to stay away from my loved ones, or whatever. And like you said, they can wear it, but I still feel like the fear behind wearing it
Right.
is going to do worse than actually like protect them because.
So how do they handle any masks up in New York? Like I know here once the mandate kind of went away, gosh, man, for the most part, almost everybody just stopped wearing them. Like I barely see them now, unless I go to a like a medical facility or something. If I go to the hospital, if I go to, I think the other day we had to take one of our daughter to Guidewell. They had some masks there, like the nurses and whatnot. But other than those places, almost nobody has a mask on anymore down here. So how are they doing it up there?
For the most part, I hardly see anybody wearing them, but I think in the medical field you have to.
Right.
And like if you're a patient and you either go to the hospital, go to the doctor, you have to wear them. There's definitely like the COVID wards and stuff like that, but overall, it's not really that mandated. They do have quarantine in hospitals, like
Sure.
if you're to the point where if you're not vaccinated, you can't go. even if you're willing to wear a mask, you can't
And
go.
are they asking for some sort of proof of vaccination?
Mm-hmm.
Are they wanting the booster as well, or like does it matter when you were vaccinated?
I'm not sure because we just went because my grandmother was in the hospital in October, so all we went as far as saying, "Oh no, we're not vaccinated." We didn't ask because we don't
Right.
have any. We didn't ask,
Okay.
"Oh, specifically, do you mean just one or whatever?" But they are getting pretty particular where, like, the first two don't matter anymore in a lot of places. Like
Okay.
the city's worse than out here. Out here
Okay.
is a little bit more lax, but I think overall, like government buildings, medical fields, you have to wear
So what's
the
the
masks.
vibe up there? Like what's the what's the word on the streets? How's everybody feel about it? Like I know what I've heard on the news media and whatnot. What I've heard about it on the news media is vastly different than my experience
Mhm.
just on the ground level talking to people. What's happening up there? How are people feeling about it?
I think a lot of people are over it, but a lot of people are still stuck on, like, it depends who has what medical issues and
Right.
who trusts doctors and who doesn't. Like, I have what you would consider medical issues as a disability.
Oh, am I losing you too? Oh boy. It's gonna be the one man show today. Losing everybody. Oh, are you
I
back?
know.
There we go.
No,
You're back now.
you went for a second too,
Oh, okay.
and then
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's the bomb cyclone. It's messing up everybody's internet. We're all gonna freeze to death and not be able to talk about it.
Yeah, last show
So
was fine. It was only when I came on.
yeah. Oh, hey, Louis back now. Let's see if
Oh,
we can
he's
hear
back.
him now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you now. Look at that.
I blame Zuckerberg and Bezos and all the rest of them.
It's the bomb cyclone. We're gonna blame it on that.
It's the bomb cyclone.
It's
It
bombing
hit
all
me.
over our internet.
I'm gonna be like this. It hit here in New Smyrna Beach, Trinity. There's a bomb cyclone hit.
You fit right in because that's what they do on the news stations is they
Yeah.
pretend that it's bad and they're like going like this. Meanwhile, people are
Yeah.
swimming behind them and
Yeah.
walking normal, not even getting pushed over.
I saw a video this morning of a guy who I guess normally does sports.
Yeah.
And he there's no sports at the moment because they're all canceled for the bomb cyclone. So they put him out there in the cold and he was not happy about it.
No.
he
No.
was quite obviously not happy about it.
Mm.
Anyways, while you were gone, I was having her fill us in on kind of the sentiment up in New York about the mask, like if they're mandated or not, how people feeling about it, like what's the overall vibe up there.
Okay.
'Cause I told her down here, they haven't been mandated for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see too many people wearing them. And the overall vibe is kind of mixed, man. It's not the average everyday individual person I come across doesn't really seem to care too much about masks.
Yeah, I'm not wearing it, but I'm okay with all the rest of you wearing it.
Yeah.
But I'm selfish about it, Trinity. It's not for anything else other than look. The reality is that some of you look. We didn't have some of the sicknesses that we normally get when all y'all were masked up and staying away from me. But now that you guys are unmasked and coming close to me, people are getting sick again. That's the way it is. That's life, right? But now we're like all sterilized, so now we can't handle any little virus or any little thing because we've lived kind of sterile for a while. So that's why there's
that makes it worse.
Sickness.
I've never been sicker than when my kids started school.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my god,
that's what happens. Kids bring it home.
Little petri dishes, man.
Look, I'm not into mask mandates and stuff, but I'm also not into shaming them for wearing them because I'm cool with you guys wearing them because that way I don't have to smell your breath. And it keeps your spit when you talk and your spit flies out. That's not going to happen when you got a mask.
The close talkers.
Yeah. Plus, that way, if you annoy me on a plane or something like that, all I got to do is like a little clear my throat, and you'll ignore me and leave me alone.
That's one thing that has changed, by the way.
There's a lot of little positives there.
Whenever like I remember back in the day, you would cough or sneeze in public and nobody would bat an eye.
They'd say bless you.
Yeah,
now they say God damn you.
Like,
No. You would sneeze and they'd say God bless you. Now they say God damn you. It's like you're committing murder, attempted murder.
People look at you like like you're the leper of the room. If you sneeze or cough, everybody immediately just freezes and looks like
right. I've been on the both sides of it where, by not wearing it, you're a horrible person. And by wearing it, you're a horrible person. So there's no winning in that thing. I just think it makes people get really upset with each other.
Yeah.
But I get it. There's a lot of people that are, if you watch the news and you hear what they're saying, I mean, they freak you out, right? So it's like, I get why you guys are wearing them. Don't think that I don't understand. As soon as people hear that, oh, Louis, he came from Florida to speak to us today, and I've already requested, can I take this mask off? Because I can't do this thing. I'm going to hyperventilate if I wear this mask while I'm doing this speech. And they let me take it off. As soon as they say I'm from Florida, they go, oh, that's why he wanted it off. And then afterwards, they always come up to me and go, love your governor. I told you that everybody loves DeSantis, no matter where I travel. It's crazy how I don't even know the governor of Pennsylvania, but they love DeSantis. I don't know the governor of Jersey, but they love DeSantis. I don't know the governor of Arizona, but they love DeSantis.
Yeah, I don't like the fake science that they're putting out there. Like they're making what I feel to be unfounded claims about how putting a mask on suddenly makes it to where I'm immune to COVID and I can't pass.
It's not the right mask anyway.
Yeah,
like Marissa was saying when I couldn't talk. It's not if you're not wearing an N95 mask, like one of these, like, look, you don't go into surgery wearing some of the masks that you guys do. Some of you guys are wearing these masks. I guarantee if I would tell you Ebola is in the room, Ebola, you would not wear the freaking mask that you're wearing and go like, I feel comfortable going right next to the individual with Ebola. No, you don't.
And people I see wearing masks like below their nose, by the way.
All of them.
Like they're wearing it wrong anyway. Like
I got such dirty looks at the airport when I was down there.
Yeah.
There was this lady. She didn't really say anything to me. She was giving me a dirty look, and then it was just me and a couple of other people waiting for the flight. And they said over the loudspeaker, please make sure that you have your mask on, even if you're sitting down doing nothing. Like, hello, that was me.
That's funny.
And she looks and she goes, yeah. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. No, when you had to wear them on the plane, look, that was some serious thing. But like you said, Trinity, people would have them wrong anyway. But look, I guess the reason it was important to talk about is because some of you are mad at those that aren't wearing them, and some of you are mad at those that are wearing them. What I'm saying is get over it. If someone wants to wear it, that's on them. If somebody doesn't want to wear it, that's on them. If
you buy yourself in your car, I'm gonna make fun of you.
Oh, dude,
I do that all the time.
I do that all the time.
If you're by yourself in the car with a mask, I'm gonna make fun of you.
Yeah, and contrary to popular belief, even in Florida, we have people driving their cars with masks on, right? Yeah. So there's people walking on the beach with masks on. I don't get it.
I don't think that's going to go away either.
Yeah, and that's fine. Again, I'm happy with some. I like it. But I'm also the guy that it says that if you're a Klansman, I want you to wear your uniform. I want to know who you are, where you are at all times. So I personally think that if you're a Klansman, you should wear it. Your uniform, and if you want to wear a mask, you should wear your mask at all times. That way I know who you are, what you are, and kind of like let you have your space, because what you're saying to me is that you're afraid of what I may give you. And I get that. You might have an autoimmune issue going on. You might be going through cancer right now. Whatever it is, I want to know, so that way I can keep my space from you and let you have your space. I want you to feel comfortable. So let's not shame those that wear masks, but at the same time, don't shame me for not wearing it, because I do kind of feel like I'm willing to take the risk. I know a lot of things are dangerous, and I'm willing to take the risk. Now, if the risks I were taking could kill me, then that'd be different. I probably would be just like you, and I'd be wearing a mask. I just don't think that what's going around right now is killing me any differently than the regular flu does. So I'm not going to do it. But we should respect each other's opinion. I guess that's why I really want to talk about it. Just let's respect each other regardless of what side we're on. Yeah. Respect it, because like I said, I mean, when I remember in 2020, like during COVID, remember I took my family to New Orleans, like and it was COVID, right? And we had our masks on because we were in COVID. It was happening.
It was a pandemic, yeah.
And there was this drunk chick going, look at the mask wearers.
That's awesome.
I didn't like that.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. And, later she passed away from COVID. No, I'm kidding. I don't know whatever. No, but what I'm saying is that then, but now it's not, and I think it's funny that some people say, oh, we're finally going to travel. And I say, oh, well, wait a minute. It's 2022. You haven't traveled at all? And they're like, no, this is our first trip since. I'm like, wow, where are you from? And then you find out, you really understand the fear that this government and these news stations have put onto people when you travel. When you travel, you find out, wow, no wonder they say they love our governor. I have not. This is the first time a lot of people are traveling. They haven't been out. They haven't been out of the house for 2 years. They haven't traveled for
Well.
2 or 3 years. They haven't seen their family for holidays for 2 or 3 years because of this.
And they picked a bomb cyclone to do it.
And then
in.
they picked the bomb cyclone to travel when everything is on the uprising because it's kind of cold.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're
So anyway.
very impressionable.
Yeah.
And it's scary how easy it is to convince people that they can't trust themselves.
Oh, the masses
they're-
are stupid.
Yeah.
You didn't know that yet? Like,
Oh no, I know
the
now.
masses are very easily manipulated. Just check out Edward Barnett, Century of the Self. They'll tell you all about it.
Hey, I like stupid people.
I didn't say I didn't like them. I just said the masses individually we're not. We're good, but put a bunch of people
good.
together.
I'm in my element.
Lot.
And around stupid people, I'm in my element. I can blend right in. It's around the intelligent people that I feel a little insecure.
You put a whole mob of people, man. That IQ
Yeah.
drops to the
Yeah.
floor.
Look, it's hard to wear this costume around other people. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get judged. Like, why are you wearing that Bucky's costume, Louis?
You can
anyway.
bring that to New York, you won't get judged.
I'm coming. I'm coming in my butt. I don't know if I'm ever not gonna wear this again. To be honest with you, and I might find others. This might be the beginning. Because if my kids see me enjoying this, every time they walk by a onesie, damn well they're gonna be buying it for me. Yeah.
You're gonna join the furry community now? Are you a furry?
Is that
I only know that
you
because
belong to that I don't know about? I don't
only know that because
Trinity, I'm not in
Trevor.
that club. I don't know what club you're talking about. But what is
No.
that?
I know
learned that
exactly
because of
what he's
Trevor.
talking about.
Oh,
And Trevor's a furry.
What does that mean?
I'm not gonna go any further into it.
Oh, you said Trevor?
Yeah.
Oh, so now I know what reference you're saying.
Yes, you do.
So is would I be a furry? I don't know. Would I be a furry or would I not be a furry?
I don't
Depends
know.
on if you identify as one or not.
A furry is just people that like to wear animal type costumes. There's a subset of them that also do like sexual things with them.
Are you saying that because I'm wearing this costume that some people may be coming on to me? Like it may
Yes.
be attractive to them?
Yes.
Well, I like positive attention in any way I get it, so I'll take it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Just don't expect me to participate, people. But you can flirt and you can say positive
You
things
got
to me all
15
day
minutes
long.
to stop what you're doing.
I might even flirt back and say, "Oh, stop, that was cute." So anyway, what's the next topic?
Nice little segue there.
Because I don't have a Bucky's mask.
Oh
Just
God. Here we
your,
go.
your,
Oh,
your pocket
geez.
change is what the next
Oh
topic is.
man, $1.7 trillion. It seems like the only person in Washington that showed us what they had to read was Rand Paul. Rand Paul, did you see the stack of
Yes.
paper? Did you see
Yeah,
the
it's like
stack?
4,000 pages or something.
4,000 pages. And then it's like you sign this or else.
Yeah.
It's seriously, I don't even read instructions half the time.
When was the last time if you added them all together, how long do you think it's taken you to read 4,000 pages? Like gosh, dude, I read so little these days now, other than I'll look at a site. But if you were to add up 4,000, it's probably taken me months that I've accumulated 4,000 pages.
Trinity, the sad thing is 100% of those politicians that voted did not read it.
No,
100% of them are trusting interns
Yeah, they got people for that.
to
even
digest,
those
to read it
people
and,
probably didn't
and
read it.
digest it. They don't have to because of how are you going to tell them what they read?
Exactly. Oh yeah, it said this. Oh okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You
No,
know,
but didn't Pelosi once say about one bill, we have to pass it and then read it? Like a few years
oh yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Several years ago, she was like, oh yeah, we have to pass it first.
That's how this one is. Pass
That's
it,
not
or
how
else
it
the government
works.
shuts down. Apparently, it is how it works. See, here's what I think's happening. Because of this infighting, we're now learning the secrets of Washington that we should know.
Mhm.
Like it's like it's like finding out who actually killed Kennedy too early. Like we weren't supposed to know it then. We're probably not supposed to know it now. We're not supposed to know this. We're not supposed to know that you guys aren't reading this shit. We're not supposed to know how many pages you push through. And by the way, we're not supposed to know how much money you give everybody because unless you're giving it to me, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I know I care. But that's the thing is,
I
all this
only
stuff
care
like
when
this-
I only care because I'm not getting it.
Well, but that's the whole point is now that it's exposed, but
Yeah.
nothing's being done about anything.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, so why are you telling us to piss us off? But like,
Right.
do right now. Do something
You
right.
know what we're
change it.
realizing though is we're realizing that they actually do represent us. Think about it. How many people do you like? They're average. See, the idea you would like to think that a politician who's an elected official has honor and integrity and is going to rise above. And no, they're just like us. They're going to take bribes. They're going to not read things. They're going to pass stuff without doing it. They're not going to answer emails. They're us.
Not
they're a
one.
representation.
They really are. Unfortunately, they are. You're right. They're a
Like, you want
representative
them
of
to
the
be
people.
higher, but
Right.
when we're realizing, no, you just go to any Walmart and grab somebody. That's your next politician.
Dude,
Same thing.
not one business person out there, a legitimate, healthy, well-funded, successful business person out there would make a purchase of another business or a takeover or even sell their business or property without having someone read all their documents, and that someone better be qualified like an attorney that's qualified to read it. I've never known a business person to say, I'm going to have my intern read it and then tell me if this is a good business decision or not. Not one.
No.
So how do we make business decisions about our money, all of our money? And you know who doesn't care? The people that don't contribute to that money. But you do. You contributed to it. You just don't know you're contributing to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I also think
Go
that
ahead.
it's kind of a nefarious thing where they're trying to hide their own dealings too. So that's why they don't want us to know anything.
They've been doing that since the beginning of time, though, man. Like,
Yeah.
go back to Roman days, man. Like,
Wait, are you saying politicians aren't honest? I thought the only dishonest politician ever was Trump. I thought they were all honest people that have great morals. And
they did call him Honest Abe. What was it? George Washington never told a lie or something?
never told a lie.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call
So-
bullshit on that one, by the way.
Yeah. So I mean, this is where we're at, man. A 1.7 trillion. And here's the sad thing, man. They they mention like something like we're giving this to this, but even that, like, there's no details. So it has people. Look, we should help support a country that's getting its ass whooped by one of our powers, right? Because that's really us fighting. What people not understand, it's not we're not giving it to Ukraine. We're fighting Russia through Ukraine. That's how we're in a war without being in a war. So I get it why we're giving money to Ukraine. However, when you just say we've gave over $100 billion to Ukraine, and then you go to the grocery store and you realize, shit, my grocery store was just, I spent $400 or $500 in groceries, and we're giving, 100. That's when it pisses us off. It's because how you guys are doing it. You don't know how to roll it up and package it in a way that we can digest it.
Well, the other thing that you're hitting, you're dancing around, but you're hitting is what I don't like these numbers and stuff. Obviously to the average everyday person, here's 1.7 trillion, whatever. That's an unfathomable number. However, the problem that I have, and I've had for a while, that I don't think gets enough attention, is we have this idea. The politicians of the world have this weird misconception that throwing money at a problem makes it go away. And the problem is, it's not throwing money at the problem. It's how you spend that money, how that money is utilized. You go to some of these, the worst school systems that we have, and they have the most funding because they don't know how to spend the money. And then the joke, you see some of these things that they'll have, and the running joke has been for years, and it hasn't changed. You'll see like on the bill byline, like, $1,000 for a hammer, or just crazy amounts. Like, they're just blowing money and spending it. And what we need, we need one of these like poor families that are struggling every month, but somehow make it. They need to be in charge of the stuff, because they will find ways of spending and stretching that money and getting the best deal from it.
Yeah. So if you that's a great point. If you go to a house that the vehicle outside matches the house, that's good. If you go to a house where the car is worth more than the house, that person will not spend your money right.
No.
Here's what's a trip. I love it when I go, like, when I'm driving around, even like in my neighborhood, there's, if you look in my yard, I swear I look like a Toyota dealership right now. There's 3 Toyotas parked outside my house. I look like a freaking Toyota dealership. You know what that's saying? It's saying, look, the car is not the most important thing in my life, because I'm currently contemplating, all right, what do I want next? I might finally get a luxury car, because I'm really against it, but I might get one because I really like Toyotas because they're economical and they go 400,000 miles. So maybe I'm being too frugal, right? But when I go into other neighbors and I go like, damn, man, here I am driving in a Toyota, and then look at that house right there. That's a, they got a Porsche, and the house is worth, $60,000. How the hell is that possible?
Right.
Those kinds of things. So you're right. I think the people that are really running our finances don't know shit about finances. Politicians should never manage finances. I don't, because they're trying to get elected. They're still in popularity votes. They still want people to like them, So when you see these politicians that come across like the Rand Pauls of the world that actually are not left or right, they're in the middle. They kind of like, sometimes they sound like this, sometimes they sound like that, but they're really libertarian or they're really independent. That's what we need more of. We actually, like that one Democrat that just flipped over into independent and she's getting shit for it. No, that's awesome. You should flip independent. If you're in a political power right now and you see what's going on with the Crips and Bloods, you should absolutely become neutral. Why not? That is, we'd all believe you more. But then they get zero funding. They get shit on. They get criticized. But most people are in the middle, and including on this 1.7 trillion. If you're out there and you thought it was a good idea that we spent 1.7 trillion, I want to ask you, well, what is it that they told you that you said, wow, we need to do that? Or if you're against it, I would ask, what is it that they told you that got you upset about it? Because something. So I'm going to ask you, Marissa, are you on the 1.7 million spend, or were you against it, and why?
Against it completely.
Okay, so what is it you heard that made you like not like it?
That we're sending that much money to another country when our food, our bills, all of that are astronomical right now. Like, we could use that money.
Yeah. So the way they packaged it for you was, we're just sending this money to another country while you suffer and struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they're doing that on purpose because they want to frame the American people that don't care, as in we don't care about the plight of another country. And that's not the case. This is going to get really political, but that's where I believe in the America First agenda. Because it's never America last or America only. And that's what the media tries to spin.
Right.
We have to put our oxygen mask on first, take care of the people here first.
Yeah.
And then, by all means, if we have left over, take care of the world.
I tell that to the people when I sit on the plane. I warn them. I say, when that mask comes down, the first one comes down is mine. So don't you fucking touch it. This mask is mine. You
notice he curses more when I'm on.
Well, we cuss more on this. We can't do it on Monday, so we get all of our
but I noticed
Tuesdays and Fridays.
I watch this show too, but for some reason when I'm on, it's just,
you bring it out at me. Is that what you're saying?
F-bombs just fly.
Wait.
It's the New York.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You got to stop being a bad influence on me then. This guy. So yeah, I tell him right away, this is my mask. Mask comes, that's mine. I know I'm about to. No, and anyway. So here's. Let me ask you some questions about that then, Marissa. So would you ever really think that our government doesn't have its own agenda of why we would give somebody money?
No, there's always a reason.
Exactly. So my real concern about giving another country money to me is, all right, that's the above board money. Mm-hmm. If we're giving that much above board, what are we really doing?
Yeah, if they're showing us that we're giving that much.
Yeah.
We're probably giving double behind the scenes,
right?
And that number is bad enough,
right? Because we've all met a gambler that goes, "Hey man, did you just lose money on that?" "Oh, dude, I only lost $20." No, they didn't. The gamblers are always lying to you about how much they spent. They always lie, and that's how
Or they go take money out and they say that they won it.
Whenever, I come from a government family. Even before my parents were in the U.S. politics, the Puerto Rican side was in politics there. My Mexican side's in politics in Mexico, and all my American side has been in politics in the United States. So every aspect about my life has been political, and I know, at least from my frame point, how things are framed, and I don't really want to know about it. The thing is if we know about it, number one, someone's being sloppy, and number two is what is behind the scenes that we really don't want to know. And that's what I have a problem with. I mean, if you guys need to spend money, politicians, and you need to do things, do it. But when you're sloppy enough, or you tend to use it as a political tool, that's when things get screwy. Because if you are spending that much money in Ukraine, that means you are trying to fight without fighting. That's how we fight. We're going to spend that anyway if we fight, except it's going to be worse. Mm-hmm. Like if we start sending troops over, that's more expensive than the $40 billion or the $100 billion.
And then we'll probably leave that and the troops over like we did in the last one with Afghanistan.
Correct. Correct. The money
Don't
we
get me
spend,
started there.
but that's the point. So that's what this particular administration is trying to do. They're trying to say we're in a situation where realistically we should help them physically. I mean, they're actually being taken over by one of our nemesis. How do you even allow that to happen? But everybody's allowing it to happen because they're fighting by their pocketbook. You know what I
And you
mean?
notice how they want all the other countries to have their sovereignty, to have their borders, to be a country, and then they let our country do whatever. Like get taken over by whoever. The whole world.
That border thing, absolutely. All those issues are 100% right. So that's what I'm saying. We're using every little detail as a play. So like if you watch CNN and you talk about 1.7 trillion, what is the message being taught? What is the message that they're pushing?
Well, I don't watch CNN, but they're probably teaching that like Ukraine is helpless and
yeah. Well,
whatever.
they're saying that a lot of this money is going to border patrol or securing our border. A lot of this money is going for our infrastructure. That a lot of this money is being used to protect our sovereignty. A lot of this money is being used for Ukraine. A lot of this money is being used to protect all the stuff that we're currently doing that we want to do. The other side is saying what? Like if you watch Fox News, what are they saying this 1.7 trillion is for?
All bad. It's for the pockets, for the politicians.
Right. See, so the point is that realistically, somewhere in the middle is the real truth. Like, yeah, it may be being used for the border control, but if you haven't visited the border and you haven't really done much on the border and you haven't even mentioned that it's been an issue, how are you now saying all of a sudden you're doing something about it or you know what to do about it? You remember when you had a chance to do something about it, you sent Kamala Harris further south to find out the root causes. So if you would come out and say, well, due to these root causes, we're going to spend blankety blank amount of billion. You're not saying that, though. You're just saying, oh, the Republicans don't want to secure our border because we're putting this money to secure the border. They're like saying no to it. You just don't even want to call it walls, even though Obama built more walls than Trump did. Yet, for some reason, saying the word wall is a bad thing. They have repaired walls and fences in El Paso my entire life when I live on the border. I lived on the border. I come from the border. There's always been a barrier. Barriers are not new. There's always been a barrier.
Yeah.
So how that became a bad thing, I don't know. Because everybody that I know, I live behind a barrier. I feel a lot better that way. I enjoy my barrier. Don't come in my neighborhood. I enjoy my security. I enjoy my barrier.
That was the thing that I always.
The politicians saying that it's a bad thing. It's the amount of people that have bought into it and bought into the divide.
Right.
That really tripped me up.
Well, that was the thing that kind of shocked me that I didn't understand. Right, because I'm a documentary whore. I watch a lot of them. I watch news stories. I try to pay attention to what's happening, and I've seen countless documentaries about the border and walls. There's these massive structures, walls, and things. Yeah. They've been there for years.
They've been there for years.
So my thing that I did not understand was how are people so upset that Trump was trying to build walls when we already had miles and miles and miles?
It's the way he said it. It's the way he said it.
I didn't understand his perspective either because those miles and miles of walls aren't really working anyway. So why would we want more of what? I didn't understand either side.
No, they actually no. All right, so it's not about working. It's about when you have a big barrier in one spot, it allows you to put men in different spots.
Sure.
So it just gives you more different space, right? You deal with the space differently.
Sure. But even the walls themselves, they were getting over, under, and through. But
it was the open spots that were a lot easier. So that's where they really go. The masses. And then, all right, you know what I'm saying? So it allows you to know, all right, masses go this way, and then the true criminal that you better watch out for is going to go through this way because they think it's not being watched. It's a law enforcement deal. And so law enforcement should be in control of that decision. What do you want? Do you want a wall? Do you want a fence? Do you want other forms of so the Border Patrol agents and those organizations should be in control of that because that's what they do. So it's like it's our government being political, whether it's a Crip or a Blood, saying, "Oh, this is for that." No, you don't know. Look, first of all, you don't know what a wall is for because you're not law enforcement, and don't make us say it out loud what it's for because then we got to give up what we do in order to explain it to you. Just give us the money and let us spend it how we feel like we need to because you've entrusted us to secure your border. So give us the money and let us do the damn thing. And that's how it should be done. But neither side is doing that. Neither side is saying that. Neither side is just simply saying, look, the Border Patrol has requested this amount of money, and however they do it, we got to entrust in them because that's what they have the job for. That's it.
But
There needs to be some oversight, though.
they did.
There is oversight, but we shouldn't all know. We shouldn't be voting on the oversight.
No, I agree with that.
The whole concrete idea was Border Patrol's idea. That wasn't the original.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So, but again, the way it was framed, like when Trump started saying it, because I think Trump did do that. He did, speak to them. And in Border Patrol, look, I have people within Border Patrol in my family, and they were saying the same stuff that Trump was saying. They mimicked what he was saying. And they're Mexican. So they were feeling a certain way with that. They were going a certain way. But the problem is when Trump talks about the way he says things, because he can't help himself. He's got a certain New Yorker flair that Marissa can understand.
I completely get it.
And there's a New York attitude that what the rest of the country doesn't understand is when a New Yorker says something, you tend to think it's rude, insensitive, or whatever. They understand each other. So when they speak a certain way, they act a certain way, they say it a certain way. But you can't take a West Coast head and understand an East Coast flair. The same way you can't take an East Coast flair and understand it in the West Coast. That's why East Coast and West Coast have always had some weird thing because we speak differently in the West than we do in the East. We speak differently in the middle of the country than we do in both those two areas. And so when Trump talks and says things, if you're a guy's guy, if you're a guy that's ever been in a locker room, if you're a guy that's ever been in situations where people are busting each other's balls, what he said didn't bother you at all. You're like, well, whatever. That's it's not the way I would have said it, but I fucking get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't talk like that, you're like, oh my god, he's a racist. He's a this, he's a that. No, he's a lot of things. Don't get me wrong, he's a lot of things. But more than everything, he just wants his name up in lights, and he just wants the notoriety. More than anything, he's got an ego. So let's agree with when he's saying it, what can give me the biggest ego push? So when he kept on saying, Mexico's going to pay for it, that was an ego. That's where he started screwing up, because then the Mexican go, wait a minute, I'm not paying for it, bro. What are you talking about?
But his ego wouldn't let him fail at any job.
Right.
So that's why I liked him, because he wouldn't purposely put our country down the toilet. Right.
And why some people like the current presidency is because if you felt like you've been mistreated or underrepresented all these years, and you have a guy that's been in the government doing that to you, and now wants to die with a different legacy, and found an opportunity to say, wow, I could be loved forever in the history books because nobody is ever flipped sides as much as I'm about to flip sides. And then, boy, I'm going to appease the loudest groups possible. So because the little people aren't being loud, right? So little people have been underrepresented forever, but little people aren't loud. They're people in wheelchairs like yourself, Marissa, you guys aren't loud enough. So so we don't have to worry about you. Latinos, we're distracted.
Compensate for what we lack, so we have to be loud. At least that's me.
But you're not loud enough. You're not loud enough as a group. Your lobbying power sucks. Like you have it really good. Like when it comes to like businesses have to have this, businesses have to have this, but not loud enough to the government to feel bad for you enough to like say, let's throw a bunch of money at you. Insurance, that's an insurance deal and other stuff, and the building codes. But Latinos are so distracted by our own shit. We got to own this. We we allowed ourselves to become a fifth level minority rather than the second level minority. So the loudest groups are the ones that are really complaining. Got all the attention from Biden. Remember, he's the one that's been in government for over 40-something years, pushing all these racist policies. He's that evil white man that they talk about, yet for some reason, he's the only one that's ever been able to act like he's wearing blackface and got away with it for not wearing blackface anymore. And now they love him. He's the only one that he's a Catholic, by the way, raised Catholic, was not for all these things. But what do they keep pushing right before he signed this? When he started flipping on the side of allowing gay marriage because he was under Obama, he started flipping his idea, which is true, but he started flipping that for certain reasons and certain political reasons, and therefore now does that. And so he passed historical stuff, and you got to give him praise for change. Now, here's where I go with that. We got to allow someone to change. Now, well, if we would learn the lesson and say, look, if Biden, this racist old white man, can flip and now love black people and love gay people, whether he's doing it for real or not,
Yeah,
then that means everybody can. That means everybody can. But we don't. But the problem is he's playing the card so deep, but we're buying into it. But there's other people that do it for real, but they don't ask for that kind of. And we don't even give them the break. We look at what they did, 50 years ago and shame them for it. 30 years ago and shame them for it. Whatever it is and shame them for it. Like, for some reason, that Obama cred is so strong and the ass kissing is so good that we've allowed him to become the biggest ass kisser that this world has ever seen and get away with it. And so this 1.7 trillion goes through because it's still on the left side of that. Nobody, the masses don't seem to be upset with this 1.7 trillion because the people that are upset with it are still looked at as evil, deplorable, racist, misogynist, homophobic people. And they've been successful at painting the Bloods as racist homophobes, and they're getting away with it.
Pretty much.
They're still getting away with it. It's a very so that's how 1.7 trillion gets passed, and we're not talking about it. They did it right before Christmas. Nobody really
feelings matter more. Apparently, yeah.
To me, I think that's part of the Trump effect, though. I think Trump pissed off so many people that the Democrats have learned how to use that to their advantage.
They're using that. I was going to say that before with COVID. That they learned how to use fear. They learned how to use your feelings. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, here's what it really is. This is my opinion, by the way. In my opinion, what it really is. They've learned how to use what the Republicans have been doing for generations. The Republicans have always used fear tactics. That the whole use of religion and all that, and that we're losing our moral fiber and all that stuff. That is based on fear. But before it was we didn't really believe it. I mean, really, when I was a high school kid and they were saying, and Tipper Gore and all these people were saying what they were saying, and all these things were coming, where Reagan was doing what he was doing, we really didn't believe that the fiber of who we are as a nation was going away. We didn't really believe that using this kind of language and talking like this and no longer the prayer this and God this was destroying anything. But now here we are in the future. And every single one of those fears that those guys were talking about, now they can now point to and go, see, that's where it started. Mm-hmm. That's where it started. When you guys said we couldn't pray in schools anymore, when you guys said we couldn't do this anymore, this is what we were talking about. Now, as kooky as they appeared to be in the 80s and 90s and as fear-mongering as they were, the Democrats use that same fear-mongering, but now they flipped it and said, now they're using it again in a different way. They hate you. They don't like you. They don't love you. They hate all. No, they don't. Come on. How else do you get a nation of black people who are mostly religious, right? The black culture is notoriously religious. Notoriously. Mm-hmm. How do you get them to go, to believe into that anti-religion sentiment and go on your side? How did you do that? Because they hate you. They're racist. They used all that same fear tactics, said they're racist. They don't want, neither did black people. Black people didn't want that. Black people didn't care about same-sex marriage. Black people didn't care about, some of the stuff that you're trying to push now. You're still not taking care of black people. I think black people are still being shit on by you. Only now you're using them as figureheads, and you get behind them and go, well, we love you. We're your friends. They're the racist ones over there. No, you all shitting on them equally. So there's never really a solution. It's just using fear tactics, and it's still being done.
Well, that's how you have different presidents, and because if some person came in, fixed everything, there wouldn't be a need for much of a government, and they need that control.
Right.
So they don't want to solve problems.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Some Confucius? Is that a Lao Tzu? It's just this thing, man. When you talk about something, because 1.7 trillion is a big number, man, and I just don't like. It's almost like my wife coming to me and saying, it's like she's asking me in front of somebody, can we buy them dinner right in front of them? Like, am I not going to say yes? You're asking me right in front of them. It's that kind of thing. To do it right before Christmas, to do it right when you already have them against the ropes, right? You just won the midterms. You're using all that against them. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know how to take the W, you don't know how to take an L. Neither side knows how to take a W or an L anymore. It's like they're brutal with each other. They don't realize that both sides are womanizers. Both sides have sexually exploited people for generations. Neither side wants all that shit to come out. That's why all this distraction we've had was because the Me Too movement, I think, was getting too strong. That is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. The Me Too movement was just coming up, and they go, "Ooh, better change this," because neither side wanted that Me Too movement to catch any fuel. Neither side, because the group of people that get shit on the most still to this day is women. I believe that 100%. Nobody gives a shit about women. Nobody. Neither side. They say they do, but they don't. And even the fact that we spend this much attention on when a man chooses to be a woman and then gets in a woman's sport, women still get shit on. Women are getting shit on everywhere. Not one woman that turned into a man that goes into a man's sport that's nothing. Like, that's, who cares about that? Where's that? But when a man does it, can't you guys see for your own eyes what's happening? Do we not see how women are always getting the shit end of the stick on this issue? It's never shitty on the other side, ever.
To me, the one that showed it the most was Deshaun Watson. He was in the middle of like 28 sexual assault cases, and then the Browns gave him like the biggest contract ever, and he was in the middle of it, and nobody cared.
Because we don't care. Because we don't care. As a nation, we don't care about women. And guess what? As a world, we don't care about women. Not just this nation. You want to shit on the United States? Look, we're the best of the rest, I really believe. But we are only a smidgen of what's happening out there. In other countries, women have less rights than here.
Yeah.
Like, so there's shit on in the world. There's not one country that you could say is woman-dominated country. What country? Matter of fact, what culture is woman-dominated besides the American black culture?
I have a question.
What?
Do you think there should be timeline limitations?
For what? Elected officials?
For women who come out against men.
Timeline limit. Explain what you mean. Maybe I don't understand what you're saying.
You want like a statute of limitations?
Yeah.
Like
if somebody comes out 20 years later and says something, coincidentally, when somebody's doing really well and getting a good payday, do you think that's fair?
Oh, are we talking about?
Do you think that rape is? To me, rape has become very emotional. Like we were talking about
I think you're leading into the special that we want to do on this issue.
Yeah. So I'll leave with this because I do have to go.
Okay.
It's just something to think about. Is it fair to men, and is it fair to treat rape as a different crime where you don't need as much of the evidence?
Okay, so in the short, what I'll say is, number one, this world doesn't care what's fair to men, because we've been advantaged so much that it's really hard to feel sorry for men. I'm a man, and it's hard to feel sorry for us because I know I kind of like what we have. You know what I mean? So, but there's certain issues that are not fair to men, and they're just notoriously not fair. Number one, the having a child, pregnancy, aborting pregnancy, I don't think is fair to men. And when it comes to accusations, I think a lot of times it's not fair to men. And the reason is because I'm a girl dad. I really 100% would love to believe that every female that ever accuses somebody is saying it because it happened. Unfortunately, we know that that's not true. We have story after story where men have been falsely accused of something, and so because of that, it hurts the true catastrophes that have happened out there. So I don't know the fix on that, but I think that the problem with public opinion is that these things are thrown out before they go through their court, and I don't think we believe in innocent until proven guilty anymore.
Nope.
And I think as a country, that's what we should be teaching more over. But when we have even politicians that are saying that, just like Trump didn't believe the election, right? When the Supreme Court did what they did, we had the other side attacked the Supreme Court and said they were wrong. Or what was that one case, Trinity, that we talked about here? Where that woman, Brittany Grimes, no, not Grimes, the one that got shot, the black woman that got shot. She was with her drug dealing boyfriend. The cops came in. They shot her, but they said she was wrongly shot. Like should not have been shot. She was in. They were putting it.
Yeah,
they were putting it as if she was just innocently laying in a bed. When what they didn't talk about was, wait a minute, no, she was with the drug dealing guy and blah blah blah, and that's why this all happened. And he shot first, which is why they shot back. But that wasn't talked about. And we had a politician, a United States vice president, say that was the wrong outcome in that judicial thing. So when we have people of that kind of power have a political agenda to the point where they attack the fabric of who we are as a nation, in other words, innocent until proven guilty. We saw it with the justice of the peace and stuff like that. Innocent until proven guilty, and everybody deserves their day in court. Then we have nowhere to go. That's what's demoralizing. And I know you got to go. You better go because we saw that she was calling for you. Anyway, thank you for that teaser. We are going to do a whole show on that, by the way.
Yep.
Awesome. I'll be here for it.
All right. Thanks, Marissa.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. That was Marissa from New York. She joined us because, I thought she was going to have something about the weather too, but apparently her weather is fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to this topic, I mean, I think, Trinity, it's just way too easy for politicians to pass things if they just use a couple of words that they know piss us off.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I would like to see. I don't even know, man. I'd like to see more transparency, I guess, but I don't even know if that would matter. To be honest with you, I think that it's a multifaceted problem, right? Like, because the other. I mean, if I'm gonna call a duck, to be honest with you, right. I think the real problem is on us. I think the real problem is us.
It is.
We have too many people who don't pay attention to politics. We have too many people that don't get involved. We have too many people who get so worried about their day-to-day stuff. It's like, I don't have time for that. Like half of our country doesn't even vote, man. And so when you're not, it's like getting mad at your kids for not properly cleaning the room, even though we all know you're not going to go double check.
Right.
If you're going to go double check, then the kids are going to do a better job of cleaning the room because they know dad's about to come in here and make sure you did it right. We're not holding them accountable. We're not actually checking their work. What we're doing is letting them do whatever they want until, like you said, they got sloppy enough that we saw, then we get mad and we oust them. And then we go right back to not paying attention. And so what we need to do collectively, to be honest with you, if we're ever going to put an end to this, is we got to actually get involved. We got to actually know what we're doing. We got to actually research some of these people and what they're talking about. We have to pay attention to some of these things. Like, I guarantee you, I know people right now in my life, if I said to them 1.7 trillion, they'll have no clue what I'm talking about. There's people in my life, if I ask them, hey, what happened in Afghanistan, a year or so ago, no clue what I'm talking about. And so we have so many people that don't vote, and the ones that do vote only vote through loyalty, not through actual tangible data and things of that nature.
Right.
It's just a product of the system. It's going to continue to stay that way. It's been that way forever, and it's going to continue to be that way until we collectively change it. And I don't see that happening, if I'm honest. Too many people I know are like, my vote aid. It used to be that my votes don't count. People, why vote? My vote doesn't count. Those people have all gotten older and kind of moved on, and now it's I don't really care about that stuff. It's those people now that I don't care about that stuff. The problem is they do. They just don't know they do. A lot of the things that they have a problem with is because somebody up top voted and it came down and trickled down to you, but they don't see the connection yet. They're so focused and to an extent, rightfully so, right? As long as we're all struggling right now and we're all wearing masks and debating that and we're focused on gas prices and stuff. Yeah, it's really hard to focus on what bill got passed. Like, I get it, but I would be a fool not to think that they're somewhat connected too, though. Right? Like, I'd be a fool to think that some of these things aren't promoted heavily to distract us a little bit from really paying attention and doing what we need to do. That's a conspiracy theorist idea, but it feels true to me. It feels true that keep them busy worrying about the stupid shit so they don't look behind the curtain and find out what we're really doing. Right. Like, it wouldn't shock me to find out that's a coordinated effort to do. I mean, we already know that they're willing to do some nefarious stuff with the emails that were leaked with when they did Bernie wrong, when they shafted him to put her up. So we know that they're not above pulling some strings and doing some shady things to get the desired outcome. And so
Mhm.
I think the real true problem is we as Americans, we're too lazy. We're too caught up in our own little world to really pay attention to the political stuff and vote and participate the way it was intended. It was you would think the way it's written. I don't know how it was intended, but the way it's written is we all have the democratic process to elect the people who fight for what we believe in and things of that nature. We just don't do it, man. Like, dude, half our country doesn't even vote, bro. Like, so as long as half the country doesn't vote and the other half of those are only voting from loyalty, and you have a very small percentage who are actually paying attention and they're not heard, the system's never going to change.
Do you think most people, if they're a registered Democrat, do you think they vote all blue? And if they're a registered Republican, do you think they vote all red?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think?
I mean, I know people who do that, who tell you they just go down the board. Matter of fact, there's an option. I don't know if you even know that there's an option that you could by proxy vote. Like, you could just send it in to vote whatever you're registered as. Like, that's an
Really?
option to do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So-
it's ridiculous.
So what Trinity's saying right now, what the Dharma guy is saying is where I used to be, actually, Trinity. I was that guy that you're talking about. I didn't watch politics. I didn't listen to politics. I ignored it. I used to, like, it used to bother me so much to the point where, you know, because my brother's always been politically minded. My brother's always watched it. And I'd always call my brother up right before an election. I'd say, all right, who do I vote for? And he would ask me, and my brother always did it right. He didn't tell me who to vote for. He would ask me a couple questions. What do you think about this? I would tell him. What do you think about this? I would tell him. What do you think about it? He goes, all right, well, this is what you want then. And I thought that was awesome. And I said, man, there should be a website like that. There should be an app like that where I could just answer questions and then it would tell me who to vote for, right? And there are now. You know, there wasn't then, but there are now, right? So I was that problem. Now, but I have a question. I don't know if I was the problem or I was actually the solution, because now I look at it and go, like, maybe the real problem are the people that think they are educated and the voter. Maybe the voters are more of the problem, because the voters tend to feel very self-righteous. People like us that get educated onto who we want to vote for and why we want to vote for them can get a little self-righteous and believe that I'm voting for what's best for all of us, or some of us think we're voting for ourselves. Like, I admit I vote for me more than I vote for all of us. My brother, on the other hand, believes that he votes for the rest of us.
Right.
Like, he's got this viewpoint, like, I vote what's good for people, even though sometimes it's against me.
Right.
And I feel like I vote for what's best for me. I admit it, right?
Right.
Because what's best for me is best for all of us. So we all get a little stuck in maybe how we think or how we vote, whereas those other people would actually move the needle. But do you want them voting if they're not going to vote your way? You may not. You may not want them to vote if they're going to vote against what you want, right?
I don't
Like,
want them
if
to
they're
vote
not
if
educated
they're gonna blindly
enough.
do it. Yeah, if they're not educated,
Which
they're
is-
just going to vote to vote.
which
no,
I feel-
don't want them.
Which I think happens. You
Yep.
know, I think that happens
think-
a lot.
I
I
think
think
that's what
most
happened with Trump.
people, are not educated of all the way down the line, and I think most people vote all one color or all another color. The way I used to vote by name, like when I first started voting. You know what I mean? I got to admit, as a Latino, if I saw a Latino name, I had to vote for that Latino. And then it got to the point where it was two Latinos against each other. I was like, oh, that's tricky.
Well,
You know
that's
I mean?
what I
So-
think happened with Trump. I don't think, dude. I've talked to so many people who are pro and anti-Trump. The pro-Trump people can at least most of them can tell me specifics on why
Right.
they're pro.
Right.
The anti-Trump people, when I asked them why they're anti, everything has to do with sound bites and attitude.
Right.
It
Right.
has
You're right.
nothing to do with actual policies. And
Zero
so
policy.
I think that's what happened. People
Right.
just got pissed off. They got fired up with the persona that he puts forward, whether you believe it or not. And they
Right.
voted against him. They didn't vote for Joe Biden. They voted against Trump. And they didn't
Amen.
do it because they were educated on policies. They did it because he pissed
Right.
everybody off. And
Right. Which
go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No.
I was just going to say
Continue.
that's what I agree. I don't think more people voting is the answer.
Right.
I think more people being educated to vote is the
Right.
answer.
And
But
then
we
you
just
brought up
don't.
transparency. Well, you brought up transparency, and then I think about everything that's happening with Elon Musk right now, and he's throwing all this transparency, and he's getting shit for it.
Only on
He's
one
getting
side.
hated
though.
on for it.
There's only
Yeah,
one
but
side
what
that's hating for it, though.
But what I'm saying is it's a huge side. You know what I mean? Because they control a lot of media stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they take this transparency and they don't want to believe it, or they're saying we already knew that. Yeah, you did already know that, but you covered it up. You did already know that, but you didn't say anything about it. You did already know that, but you still voted for the dude. So if that were happening on the other political side, you would have been exploiting that. You would have been using it to your advantage. There's no way you can have a story like this Hunter Biden story and it wouldn't have been like everywhere.
Yeah.
But it wasn't everywhere. It wasn't, dude. And the reason I'm telling you it wasn't everywhere because I'm a flipper. I go from CNN to Fox, CNN to Fox. It was never on CNN.
Yeah.
The border patrol issues was never on CNN. It was always on Fox. Never was the border talked about on CNN.
Well, the Wuhan lab thing.
The lab stuff. COVID on CNN. It was all about you have to get vaccinated, and then on the other side, it was like, well, what's in the vaccine? Let's question the science. What's in the vaccine? What are you putting into my body? And how about before the vaccine? On when Trump was the one that actually put out the vaccine, it was the left was saying, oh, that hasn't been tested and proven. How you can't do a vaccine that quick, and the other side was saying, no, we need an immediate vaccine. And then all of a sudden it became Biden's vaccine, and it was like, oh, that had not, everyone has to have vaccine. And then the other side flipped, and
during the debate, Biden and Kamala Harris both said they wouldn't take a vaccine that he put forward.
That's my point. So exactly. So this when you flip channels, you get to hear both sides, man. Hey, look, on the left side, inflation has been coming. The recession has been coming. You watched Fox News at all. That's all they've been talking about for 2 years. Inflation and recession is coming. It's coming. The sky's falling. But it was all about finances, right? The left side was like, it's transitory. They all said it, dude. I don't care what channel I watch, channel 13, NBC, CBS. They all use the exact same words. What I noticed is with the Crip side, they all get a hold of a word and they all use it. On the blood side, they only really have one channel. They have Fox. That's it. They have Fox News. That's it. They have one channel. So you don't hear it everywhere. You only hear it if you turn to that channel. On the left side, they use the same exact words. Like when deplorables was used, it was everywhere. Yeah. When the word transitory was used, it was everywhere. It is
the only pushback that I would do with that a little bit, and the reason why I think the Republicans have been better at winning elections is because they do fall in line. No, I have noticed that, not media wise, but as far as actual individuals in the political spectrum, the blue side is much more likely to fight amongst one another. They don't always agree with each other. Whereas the red side, whenever it's like when they have the meeting of all the reds, somebody says, "Hey, this is our stance on it." They all fall in line. I don't care which Republican.
Now, right now, they don't.
Well, it used to be that way, and maybe that's
why. But not right now, and I think that's why they lost the midterm. Yeah. They lost the midterms because they got this whole divide between what was and what needs to be.
Yeah.
Those that don't want to give up on Trump and those that want to go move past Trump. That's the dividing line.
Trump has definitely tore up the Republican Party.
Trump, and that's because for all you Crips, Trump was never a Republican, never will be a Republican. He's not Republican.
No.
He's always been Trump. That's who he is. He's Trump. Matter of fact, that should be the name of that political party, the Trump Party. But that you guys attack Republicans for what Trump is. Trump beat the shit out of Democrats, and he beat the shit. But before he beat the shit out of you Democrats, he beat the shit out of the Republicans. They didn't want him. They wanted Bush. They didn't want him. They wanted another Republican. But he beat the shit out of him in all the debates. And then he got in the national debate against you, and then he beat you up. That's why he won. He won because he beat everybody up.
Hang out with Clinton and all them. He put so much money to the Clinton campaign.
He's an independent. Trump is not.
Trump cares about Trump.
Trump cares about Trump. He's the Trump Party. He's not Republican. He beat the shit out of him, which is why they had to fall in line. Now that they're seeing there's cracks, trust me, they're going to fight him as hard as they can with it. And that's why there's division right now.
Yeah.
And that's why they lost the midterms. Because he continues to act like he's going to jump back in the game, which we know he is, which divides them because they never felt so good as behind somebody that could take that much shit coming at him and still beat him up.
Yeah.
It's hard not to get behind Mike Tyson, bro. Look, if Mike Tyson came out of retirement right now, I'd still want to see him fight.
Yes.
You just like fighters, man. You like people that can beat people up, and he knows how to beat people up.
Yeah.
So I can't blame him. but I'm not a Republican, so I don't have to worry about it. But I'm interested to see who they put up. And then as far as you Democrats, I mean, look what you put up. You said diversity. You had all these diverse people, and then you end up putting in the white man. You're so obvious. It's ridiculous. You act like you give a shit, but only in a second position, not first position. And if you did vote somebody in first position, it's only because they are. That is racist. What you do is more racist than what the Republicans could ever do, because you actually tell us that you're doing this only because of gender, or only because of race, or only because of color, or only because of, it's like that, my friends, is what's racist. And yet they get away with it. Democrats get away with being the most racist people on the planet the whole time, acting like they're inclusive, and all they are is exclusive. They don't give a shit about me. Latinos. Give shit about Latinos. Nothing whatsoever. You haven't talked about that border where women have been getting raped, women have been getting abused. My Latino brothers and sisters have been getting pushed around by cartels, and pushed around by coyotes, and putting little this and putting little this. You didn't give a shit about that for 2 years. All of a sudden now you're talking about it. Why? As soon as we hit your town, as soon as these governors started busing Latinos into your cities, oh, now you give a shit about it. Now you care. Yeah. You're so obvious. It's ridiculous, man. You don't give a shit about us. So I don't like race and culture being used for politics, but both of them use, well, Republicans don't do it. Republicans did it with Herschel Walker. That was pretty obvious, right? They tried to, that was probably the worst candidate ever.
That dude
can't talk. Wow. He can't express himself. He's got
so many skeletons in his closet too.
That was so obvious. So obvious. Republicans tried really hard. We need to find a black guy. That was pretty obvious. That's why you lost Georgia. You lost Georgia because you picked a shitty candidate for you. I love Herschel Walker for who Herschel Walker is, for Herschel Walker as a football player. But as a politician, really?
No.
Come on, you knew halfway in. That's why you started sending Cruz over there, Mitch McConnell. That's why you send all them to help him win, because you knew damn well this guy can't say shit. We better put two white guys on either side of him and say what we got to say, and that was just too obvious, man. That was too obvious. You can't fake the funk. That's the problem. You look at us minorities and you think you can fake it. You can't really fake us for too long. You know what I mean? We see right through it. It's not good. If you really want to do it, you got to come from someplace genuine. You got really good black politicians within the Republican Party. If you want a black person, find one of them. Don't bring Herschel Walker to the game and think you're going to win. And with you Democrats, stop saying that we're self-hating if we don't vote for you because you love us better. You don't love us better. You definitely don't love Latinos more. The Latinos the Republicans have a hell of a lot more of the value system that Latinos have as far as religion, family, accountability, structure than you do. What you guys have that the Republicans for some reason can't figure it out, and if they did, they'd win, is the dreamers. That's where Republicans messed up. They went across the board and said, we're not even going to do the dreamer deal. Trump should have done the dreamer deal, and he would have won an election easily. Boom, like that. Should have forgiven the dreamers, man. But no. And these are the things. Those are the things that I think are problematic, is that we're way too into two issues right now, either color or gender, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why you can pass 1.7 trillion.
Yeah,
because as long as you're on the social side of color or gender, you can do no wrong.
Pretty much.
And that's freaking weird. It's just weird. That's the weird time. And I know you say the Trump effect, and with this, I'll end with this, the Trump effect. But I don't think it was Trump that did it. I think it was the anti-Trump movement that did all this. The Trump movement didn't do any of this. The anti-Trump movement is what caused all this.
Yeah. Yeah, the anti can't be there without him, though. So it was a ripple
not really, because
it was a byproduct.
I'm going to give you an example of what I'm saying, though. Think of the atrocities that Mussolini did. Think of the atrocities that Hitler did, or Idi Amin. They were murderers. They were evil leaders, right?
Sure.
Trump didn't do any of that stuff, but got put higher than them.
Yeah.
He got put as more evil than them.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So it wasn't the actor. It was how they have now documented what the actor is and what he what he represents. They were able to use the social media platforms and their books and their writing and their influence to make him worse than Hitler, Idi Amin, Mussolini, Genghis Khan, Stalin, all of them.
Yeah.
They have officially made him one of the most evil people that have ever existed on the planet. Successful. They took a New York, self-interested New Yorker and made him into somehow a redneck religious right person.
Yeah,
by the power of their
understand.
media, the power of their Twitter, their Instagram, their Facebook, their social media, their movies, their television shows. Democrats just won that battle. So that wasn't what Trump did. That was what the anti-Trump movement did. That's my point on that. But anyway, with that, you have any final words on all this? If not, it's time for me to get ready to go see my parents for Christmas, and that's it.
No, man. I just wish everybody, happy holidays. If you celebrate Christmas or whatever, by all means. If you don't, still have a good time. It's coming up, and if you're in America, you're most likely to get ready to deal with some really cold temperatures. So stay safe. Stay warm.
Yeah, please do. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate during this time of year. If you don't celebrate anything, enjoy just time with family. Celebrate that. Whatever you do.
Saturday.
Yeah, if that's how you feel. I say Merry Christmas because I come from that background. And so I'm not offending you. Don't offend me. We're good. That's it. Adios, amigos. Time for a taco.